This past Sunday morning, we looked at that part of Psalm 23, that when Jesus is the shepherd taking the sheep up into the highlands, the mesas, the tables, he says that he prepares a table for us in the presence of our enemies. And that word prepare is a present tense. He does it right now. Whatever he's talking about is something we can get in on right now. And we saw that one of the tactics of the enemy is to pick sheep off one at a time, because if he can pull a sheep away from the flock, he's got the sheep right where he wants him, because whenever he attacks a sheep, whenever a sheep feels threatened, he freezes up and he can no longer beat like he normally would. His vocal cords freeze up and he's a sitting duck. However, when you're close to the other sheep, when they see the enemy attacking, they will begin to bleep out real loud and let the shepherd know something's going wrong and he needs to come quick because the enemy is close by. And we saw the analogy of how that applies to us today. That God created the church for community. He created us that we need one another. That's where our protection comes from. And so often we get very prideful and self-arrogant sometimes, and we think we can make it on our own. We don't need to be with the body. We can do our own thing. We can go off and try our own paths, but those result in death. And what we need to realize is God has given us protection when we're within the body of Christ. But what many people do, they pull themselves away. And by doing so, it's one of the most foolish things they could ever do, because then they depend upon themselves to defeat the wolves. And there's no way a sheep can defeat a wolf. In fact, the wolf wants us to get us away so bad, he will cause trouble within the church. Have you ever known someone say, I don't go to church anymore. I don't need the church because I got mad at someone, or I got mad at the pastor, and they leave? That's exactly what Satan wants you to do. He wants you to pull away so that you are sitting duck for him. So we see with the sheep, their responsibility to stay close to the shepherd, close to each other. And by being close to each other in God's family called the church, we protect one another. When we get to know someone, we begin to see them slipping and falling, and little things that become very little at the beginning begin to grow and become bigger and bigger and become strongholds in someone's life. And if we could help someone early on, it's a lot easier for them to correct their ways than when they've been gone for so long. So I would encourage you to say, God, how can I be part of the body of Christ? Not just have your name on the membership rolls of a church, but be actively involved in other people's lives, because we do need each other. So this week, be on the lookout to see other believers who may be kind of straying or maybe just taking a few steps in the wrong direction, and ask God to give you the courage in a polite way to find out what's going on in their life. Many times, if you're very patient and gentle, they'll open up to you and you can help spare them a lot of trouble down the road. So I hope this has helped for you as you go throughout this week being Christ's shepherd to others.